Yeah, exactly. All right, videos run. Hello, everybody. Good to see you. Nice to be seen.
Our third baseman's come through the last 2 days.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Kind of.
Night and a 2-run home run today.
We're discussing that Tiger game. It was a good game today. If you missed it, went 11 innings.
Yes.
6 to 5.
Yeah, I was working.
Yeah. Very nice.
I could use warmer weather for tomorrow. Night game. What is it, down into the 40s or 30s?
You hear that, Tom?
Yeah.
Looking for warmer weather. All right.
I guess this one, so it should be good.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, it's 8 o'clock. We might as well start it, see what happens. We'll get going here. Stand by. Talk show.
Recorded live.
Hello, I'm Dave Cooper, known as Dave AC Online, and you're listening to GC Community Chat with your host, Kerry Partin.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of GC Community Chat. I'm your host, Kerry, and joining me tonight is Wayne County Commissioner Richard LeBlanc, Dr. Tom Iwinski, and Mike Jones. This show is dedicated to the residents and businesses of Garden City, as well as the surrounding communities. Remember, we're working hard to promote our community and yours. Well, hello again, and welcome back to another episode of GC Community Chat. It is, what is it? Today is Thursday, the 21st, 2015, and you're listening to show number 246. And Richard is not with us again, Mike.
No, I still think he celebrated too much after that election.
Yeah, he's still not feeling too good, but, you know, try and get him to go to the doctor, so we'll see what happens. Unless he pops in. He might surprise us and pop in. You never know.
Good luck with that, getting him to go to the doctor thing.
Right. Yeah. All right, this is the podcast where we promote news, information from our community and yours. I am your host, Kerry, and joining me tonight, you've already heard from him, former city council member and longtime resident of Garden City, Mr. Mike Jones. Mike, how are you?
Tired, Kerry. I worked down at Co-American Park today and almost fell asleep before coming over here.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, that was a great game. We'll talk about that later. What's that, Tom?
I think we've all been there after a long day wanting to fall asleep.
Oh, God. It was tough.
And that is our favorite weather guy, Dr. Tom Iwinski. Tom, how are you?
Good. I brought the sunshine out for our show. It's been a gloomy day all day, and then I decided to bring the sun out.
Yeah, it actually
Big sun today.
Right. It actually turned out to be pretty nice out there.
Yeah, it was
no humidity.
kind of cloudy down at the ballpark, but it was a nice day for a ball game.
Yeah, good day. Great day.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we have a lot to get to tonight, including our thoughts on Tuesday evening's very first Garden City Taste Fest. And if you haven't heard which venue was voted first place by the folks attending, we'll announce that. And I'll tell you, it was very difficult to vote by many, wasn't it? Very difficult, Mike.
It was.
That was a tough vote. They were all winners, believe me. If you did attend, call in or join us and let us know how you liked it. Tom will be here shortly with the latest weather for us. Holly and Joy will have their 2-minute gardening tips. And unfortunately, Richard won't be here with county news, but he'll have a lot to talk about when he does get here, I'm sure. And then finally, Mike and I will have some community announcements and events that are going on in the city. So looks like another great show for you tonight. So why not grab your favorite beverage, sit back, and hang with us for the next 60 minutes or so. Should be a good one. All right, now it's very easy to join us here live tonight. You can call in by dialing 1-724-444-7444, and then you're going to enter the call ID 82757, followed by the pound sign. Or you can join us in the chat room by going to TalkShoe.com and search for call ID 82757. That takes you right to our main show page where you'll click on the large Join In button, and a window will pop up. Just sign in as a guest, and that's all there is to it. Once you're in the chat room, you can type your comments at the bottom of the page, and you'll find our phone number and show ID there as well. You can also text your questions to us at 734-788-9319. The audio from tonight's show will be posted on our Facebook page at facebook.com/GCChat as soon as it's made available, and that's usually about 30 minutes or so after we sign off. We are also doing a live unedited video of tonight's show, so you can put a face with the voice, and that will be made available sometime tomorrow on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/communitychatshow. Last week's show, I was a little bit late posting the video, because for some reason, Windows Movie Maker, which I use to post on YouTube, is not working. So I found another movie editor that I use, and we'll see how that goes. So hang with us. Look for that tomorrow. And while you're there, why not subscribe to our videos? That way you'll be notified when we post a new show in the future. And if all that wasn't enough, we are also on iTunes. Just search for GC Community Chat. Before we get to Tom, I want to mention a couple of guests that we are going to have on that you can add to your calendars coming up. I believe Richard knows this first lady. Her name is Brittany, and if I pronounce your last name, I apologize, Brittany Abdullah from the National African Business Association, the NABA, will be on our show May 28th. She'd like to come on, discuss with us building and managing personal credit, raising capital to start a business, and managing business credit. So looking forward to that. Then in June, on June 11th, we will have Mr. Tom Borg. You know him. He was the speaker at the Kiwanis Mike. Yeah. He did a real good job. He's from Tom Borg Consulting. He was recently, like I said, a guest at the Kiwanis Club, did a real fine job. So we invite him to come on the show. His services include several things to help promote and improve your business and sales. So mark those two shows down on your calendar, and we hope you'll be able to join us.
He had good advice that also applied to organizations as well as businesses.
Right. Yeah, he covers a broad, I got his business card. The whole back is full of stuff that he takes care of. So, yeah, looking forward to having Tom on here. He's a good guy. Okay, coming up now will be Doppler Tom and the weather, and then Joy and Holly will get in here with their 2-minute gardening segment, and then we'll discuss the Taste Fest, I believe, a little bit. All right, let's get Tom. Okay, let's do a check on weather with Doppler Tom. Let's see what he has in store for the rest of this week and the weekend coming up. Tom, take it away. Tom, it turned out to be a nice day.
Yeah.
Very nice.
We had some clouds throughout much of the day, but during the evening hours, that sun made an appearance, and the sun matters. I mean, if the sun isn't out, our moods aren't really that great. But the sun comes out, our moods sometimes change, and it changes for the better. It's the science, and it's been proven. So
yeah.
The sun does actually help the body. And yeah, it's definitely turned out to be a nice evening. But with these clouds decreasing across the area, it's going to be a little cool again tonight. It's been cool the last few nights. Luckily, it hasn't been dangerously cold for our plants, so I don't see anything that worrisome with frost or anything, so that's some good news. But nevertheless, it's going to be chilly out there, so if you're going to be out there late tonight, you definitely need a jacket. It's going to be in the low 40s tonight. And we'll see some more clouds move in and out of our area throughout the overnight hours. And we'll see those continuing throughout the morning, but we'll see more sun throughout all the day tomorrow. And those temperatures will increase as well. We'll probably be in the mid-60s as well, so that's going to be a nice rebound. And as we get into the weekend, the Memorial Day weekend, it's going to be overall I think overall a good weekend to do anything outdoors. Saturday we'll again see a lot of sunshine out there, and the temperatures will again continue to increase. We'll see temperatures probably in the low 70s, so that'll be a nice day to do any outdoor work or not to some vacations if you're going to be out and about, so that'll be good. And as we get into Sunday, we'll see more clouds then on Saturday as a new storm system moves in. We'll probably be dry throughout most of the day out there, and those temperatures will be a little bit warmer in the mid to upper 70s. So another mild weekend out there. But all good things must come to an end as that system moves closer on Sunday night into Memorial Day Monday. We'll probably see the rain chances increasing. I don't see any crazy weather to deal with, anything severe weather or flooding or anything like that to deal with, but I definitely think the increased chance of rain will will be a big factor as we get into Memorial Day. And again, those temperatures will stay mild, though, in the upper 70s. And as we get into all of next week, this pattern is going to kind of continue. We'll see a increase in temperatures into the low 80s, but that humidity will increase as well. And, you know, that humidity is never good because it's uncomfortable, and, again, it's going to bring pretty much every day a chance of rain. And some of that rain with that humidity can really squeeze out that moisture, and we could see some heavy downpours as we get into next week. So it's not going to be a complete washout as we get into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and into Thursday, and probably into Friday as well. But you definitely need to bring the umbrella if you're going to be out and about, because if those clouds are building, there's definitely that chance of rain all of next week. But on the good side, it's going to start warming up as well. Low 80s all of next week. So that's some good news. But as we expand out and talk about some other weather going around across the United States, the central United States, again, I've been talking about this over the last few weeks. They have been just stormy pattern all across the central United States, especially Texas, Oklahoma, and Kansas. They have been dealing with a lot of severe weather, including tornadoes. And Texas is a state that has been dealing with flooding as well. Flooding has been a big story across Texas, and that's going to continue all across the region as we head throughout the next few days into Memorial Day as well. So if you're in that neck of the woods, I know Jerry was recently there, and I was talking to him and keeping him informed. But he was actually around those storms, so He was actually pretty good, and he got some nice weather out of that. But nevertheless, you definitely need to be prepared out there because some of these storms can be pretty wild out there. And but luckily, nothing too crazy here for us, which is good news because this is the time of year when we can, especially as we get later in the summer, the threat of severe weather. But luckily, I don't see that, so that's some good news. But other than that, the other big stories, of course, are the droughts across the United States. Luckily, the drought is decreasing across the central United States from Texas to Oklahoma and to Kansas because of all this stormy weather. But nevertheless, that drought is still there. And, of course, the drought across the western United States, California especially, is continuing. They're out pretty much on their fourth year of exceptional drought, which is the highest level category of drought. So that's never fun to deal with. But other than that, across the Great Lakes, they've been dealing with that cold, chilly air with this behind this pretty strong, powerful cold front. They're bringing in some unseasonable air from Canada. There's actually always frost and freeze advisories across the northern Michigan and northern interior of the Northeast, but luckily nothing for us. But that's overall the weather synopsis for the United States. No big international stories really to talk about. There was some mudslides in Cambodia, but nothing too big to talk about. But other than that, the weather's been pretty quiet for us. That's pretty good. But if you want to keep tuned to this and all the Memorial Day weather, just go to my website, DopplerTomsWeather.com.
All right. And you're looking for some warmer weather tomorrow night, is it?
Yeah, we got a night game tomorrow night. That was
if you're going to be out and about tomorrow night, it's going to kind of be the same. I don't really see a whole warm-up, but if you're going to be out and about, you're definitely going to need a jacket. The temperatures will probably be in the 50s. But the warmer weather isn't going to come until next week, as we get into next week. So
okay,
it's going to be out and about, and it's going to be a little chilly.
So you can have all the rain you want next week. The Tigers are on the road.
Oh, that sounds good.
So the weekend isn't going to be a total washout, it sounds like.
No. I think the whole weekend is going to be dry.
Good.
As we get into Sunday night into Memorial Day is when I think the rain chances increase. But if you have any plans all weekend, you should be fine. Enjoy the weather.
Yeah, because, barbecues and all that.
Oh,
and
yeah,
then,
it's going to be perfect for that.
People don't have to worry about covering their plants or anything tonight or anything, so.
No, I don't see any frost for our area over the next few nights, but it is going to get pretty chilly, but not dangerously chilly for those plants, so that's some good news.
Yeah, I saw they have a freeze warning up north, like near Saginaw and above. Boy, that was crazy the other night.
Oh, yeah. They definitely can get pretty cold out there, but yeah. Luckily, it's not down here, but it is pretty good. It gets pretty late for us to be dealing with those crazy temperatures.
Yeah.
After Memorial Day, we really don't see it. That's kind of the safe one, but it's weather. It's crazy, and it's always changing.
Yep, that's for sure. All right, thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Yep, you're welcome.
I actually got a text from Richard, and he will be coming. He's going to be calling in. He's actually up north at his cottage, so he'll be calling in a little bit.
Recuperating up there.
Yeah, recuperating up there. He had to get some stuff done. So he will be calling in. All right, let's get to Holly and Joey with their 2-minute gardening segment, and then hopefully Richard will be calling in by then. If not, we'll fill some time with something, I'm sure. So let's get them in here now.
This is Gardening in 2 Minutes.
Kids in the garden are a lot of fun to have. It's fun to have kids in the garden. They are going to learn from that. They are enthusiastic about being in the garden, and sometimes they even eat the dirt.
Whether it's your kids, your relatives, or your neighbor's children, it's always a fun activity to have them and have them learn. Now, if you have children that you know what I'm going to say, don't expect to get a whole lot done if you have the kids in the garden. But it's a great experience and a wonderful event to have them ask questions about what you're doing and why you're doing it.
Right, and also it's good for them to see something come to fruition. So, for example, you can plant radishes, and radishes grow quick. They grow in about 30 days, and you plant the seed, and then before they know it, by the time, they have radishes right in front of them. Same thing with a lot of root vegetables are pretty amazing to kids because you don't really, you'll see the tops growing, but you don't know what's going on underneath the soil. It's a little mystery to them. And you can even do fun stuff like take a clear container, plant some seeds near the edge of that clear container and see it grow and sprout. So that's one thing that's kind of fun. Another vegetable that kids like to grow are tomatoes, especially cherry tomatoes, because they can go ahead and just pick those off the vine and eat them, and so that's fun too. And if the kid wants to play with the shovel and the dirt and stuff, let them try it out, because the more acclimated they are to it, the more likely they're going to help in the future.
If you want to know more about kids in the garden and check out some of the photographs that we have with our nieces and nephews, you can find all that information on our website, as well as our weekly video productions and our free downloadable digital quarterly magazine. All that can be found at
the WisconsinVegetableGardener.com.
For Gardening in 2 Minutes, I'm Joy Baird.
And I'm Holly Baird.
All right, thanks, guys. And that's true. They do eat the dirt, right, Mike?
Yeah. You got to watch them like a hog.
Filter the worms through the
Good
teeth.
point, too, is they are good helpers, and once you get them in there,
Yeah.
that's why we have kids. Don't wait for them. They are little helpers.
Exactly. That's true. Yeah, they're good helpers. Hey, why not give them that experience? Get their hands dirty and do their thing. Richard, how are you?
Hey, I'm all right. How you guys doing?
I'm doing good. I see you got your favorite beverage and you're all ready to go.
I do have a beverage, and yes, I guess at this point I'm ready to go. And Kerry, I appreciate the reminder because my mind was on a different thing at this exact time. So.
Well, yeah, I totally forgot that you were going up north too because it's a long holiday weekend, and then you're not feeling well still. So appreciate you joining us.
I tell you, I am going to have to I guess, get with the program and go see somebody that has a clinical background because I'm at 2.5 weeks with this thing now. And
didn't you have this last year too? I think you did, didn't you?
I get it about once a year.
Yeah.
I'll get it, and it does it for, a week and a half or so, and this time, ooh.
Yeah.
Really, I put the game face on when it's necessary, and I do certain things, and that's okay, but by the end of the day, I really pay for it.
It does. It catches up to you. Well, look, we won't keep you real long because I know you're not feeling good, and you probably want to rest with your beverage.
That's very kind of you.
So get us caught up on some county news. I know we haven't talked in a couple weeks, really. I think.
Yeah.
What's the latest?
Yeah. So the biggest thing regarding the county is that unanimously approved today by the Wayne County Commission was the county executive's reorganization plan. And what it does is, to cut right to the chase, it saves $3 million annually. It consolidates some service. It does eliminate some things that, unfortunately, some people will feel. But, as we talked on this show in the past, one of the things that Wayne County does is provide a whole host of services that are not required in any way. And, they don't often serve a very large or expansive population.
Right.
And it's been tough. You're talking about people that become accustomed to something.
Oh, yeah.
But these days are more challenging financially than we've had in the past. And so the executive has said, hey, give me some discretion here. And so amongst the things that we did were to transition service, for example, of Library for the Blind. And I know we've talked about that on the show in the past.
Yeah.
There's going to be a cooperative effort involving the Taylor Public Library.
Oh.
So services will be shifted to Taylor.
Okay.
And they said, we average, we average 10 people that would actually come through the doors per day. There are more than that utilize the service, but 10 people that actually visit the location.
So not real cost effective, really, to keep those doors open.
We spend $400,000 general fund dollars in addition to other non-general fund monies.
Yeah.
And really, if you look at it, it almost seems hard and callous to say, but really you do have to put a cost on these things.
Right. Exactly.
So the benefit that the commission got out of it was that the service will continue. It may not be at the location some people are accustomed to, but the service will continue, and that was good consolation.
Yeah, that's a big thing, yeah.
Yeah, so that's one example of something that, the service model will change. One of the things that, that had been proposed that talked a little bit on the show was the homeless shelter. But as it turned out, the homeless shelter is not proposed to have any changes to it for the time being.
Oh, okay.
And it really boiled down to some, I guess I would call them, again, challenges that were too difficult to overcome at this exact time. So
Right.
It's something that may be revisited in the future. But for now, the model that exists next to the K Beard building on the Ellis property is going to continue.
Now, do we know how many people are in that shelter at any given time, or, a count?
Excuse me. It has the capability of serving 25 families.
Okay.
We are not at capacity. But what we have found is that its intent always was to be a bridge, so to speak, to get people to a certain point where, they can utilize other means, and it was intended to be a 90-day program. What we found, or are finding, is that we have about a 20% decrease in terms of how many people or how many families utilize the facility, and we have a 100% increase in the average length of stay. So again, what it really points to is that some people are able to get out of, I'll call it the hole that they're in for various reasons, some families.
Right.
And others are just, they're having a more difficult time, and the duration is
extended.
Beyond, what's normal. So, but for right now, we're not going to interrupt service in any fashion with that.
Okay.
There's some other things, the seniors and veterans and some of the health-related stuff is going to be combined, but it was, I guess I would just say the veteran piece. It was very touchy.
Yeah.
The executive relented and backed off to a degree in terms of what their original proposal was. And so there's still going to be a full-fledged senior component. And although I did hope today that during my office coffee hour, I was going to meet one of our new employees, the deputy director, unfortunately the schedule did not allow him to visit us today, along with Director Kevin Kelly, who did make it.
Yeah, you had a good crowd there again, I saw.
Yeah, we did we had a lot of people.
Yeah,
You know,
it was full.
You know how it is in government. You offer something free, you're going to get folks to show up.
Exactly.
And, so free coffee, free donuts, free bagels.
It brings
fruit.
them out.
Yeah. So, and again, you know, more new people that I have not met in the past.
Wow.
And I got to tell you that one of the things that was mentioned by multiple people today separately, not at the same time, but multiple people said, look, if you do end up being successful in your other venture that you're seeking, one of the things that we hope is that your replacement continues this.
Right.
And I said, look, I've got a list if I should be successful in that other venture. I've got a list of things throughout the 3 communities I serve in the office that I hold. That person is going to really, in my opinion, they're going to, it's a higher standard than maybe the average Joe.
Well, they're going to have some big shoes to fill, too. I mean, let's face it, really. Seriously. I mean, I'm serious. I mean, you know, they do. They're going to have some big shoes, just like Julie did with David, you know. I mean, it's the same thing as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. So, you know, really aside from that, we did just the typical stuff, the usual procedural stuff today, nothing really out of the ordinary. And now, my opinion is that the next big challenge is the budget.
Yeah.
So we're going to get working on that as soon as we receive it from the executive. And my hope is that it is a real budget in terms of recognizing, again, continued challenges that we have. And I expect that it's going to be painful.
So what would you say was the biggest, most surprising thing to you today as far as consolidation? The veterans part, or?
No, I guess I'd say the most surprising thing, if I had to term it that way, was that the executive team backed off of the voucher proposal for the homeless shelter.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Because,
yeah, that is,
you know,
pretty.
that one, it's one of those things, excuse me, that's not required, not a mandate, but it's very, very sensitive.
Yeah.
You know, Wayne County is a big place.
Right.
We're talking less than 30 families within Wayne County that might utilize it, but really, the last time we talked about this with the Picano administration, it received more comment than anything.
Oh, okay.
And so what was surprising to me is that they elected to not move forward with their proposed closure of that center and utilization of a voucher system. That was the most surprising thing to me.
Now, is there going to be any provisions for the jail site, or how's that going to work?
Excuse me. So one of the things that we did do today, you know, I said it was mostly procedural, but one of the things that the commission approved today was unfortunately, a contractual service agreement so that an entity can come in and make recommendations regarding the existing jail sites. And what they're doing is they're looking at what's good, what's not good, what's fixable, what's not fixable. Really what they're doing is an assessment of the other jail properties, because it's my opinion, and that's all it is. I have no insider baseball info, but it's my opinion that the new executive team is seriously considering whether to rehab/renovate the existing jails as opposed to move forward with the new jail project.
Wow.
There would be really no other reason to spend $340,000 on this proposal. So if they get decent news that says, you know, it's doable and here's what needs to be done, you know, I would suspect that there could potentially be a move in that direction.
Interesting.
So as far as you asked about the current jail project, though, as far as that, still no activity, no action at all proposed yet.
Wow. Yeah, that's a real that's going to be an issue that's going to take a while to resolve, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. Did you have a comment, Mike, you wanted to say?
This is just an albatross over your head
Yeah.
at this point in time.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, we're talking about so many things that are, they need to be resolved. And one of the executive team members slid up to me today talking about one of them in particular and said, I wasn't part of this. I wasn't here when this happened. And I said, well, neither was I.
Right.
And he looked at me, and I just said, well, but that's not an excuse. We got to get this done. And it was almost as though that person, just for a moment, forgot, hey, I'm a new guy, too. I've only been here 3 years.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
So,
well, I guess
just a whole list of things.
Yeah, that's the thing. You got such a huge list. You have to just prioritize, the list and go from there, right?
Right.
Yeah. So, what else you have? Anything else interesting for us?
Yeah, not necessarily county related, but I called Mrs. Chat yesterday.
Yeah.
And I made an observation and a comment of compliment regarding the Taste Fest. And, I've been on a few of these over the course of time.
Yeah.
And without being critical of any of them, because I won't be, I would say that event that Cheryl and I and her sister and obviously a number of other people participated in the other night was so fun, so well organized, such a really, really good time. And I especially liked that, unlike the others that I've been on, that we had a bus.
Yes.
And a large vehicle for everybody. And as tempting as it is to maybe drive yourself for speed or expediency or convenience, whatever, that was a lot of fun. And I really, really hope that that's something that continues because we want to be a part of it.
Well, I'm happy to hear that. That's for sure. We worked hard on it. I say we because I'm in the GCBA and the DDA, and there was a lot of people that were really involved in this. And we were going to talk about that tonight. Mike, you want to make an observation comment?
Well, the bus that Richard was on was particularly rowdy. I'm not saying that Richard was responsible for the rowdiness.
We were a rowdy bus. It was a lot of fun on that bus, I'll tell you.
It was. And, other people were jealous that they were not on our bus. You're
right. You're absolutely right. And I even had a couple venues say that our crowd was the best crowd that they had in there. So, yeah, it was a great time, without a doubt.
It was.
And the venues.
Yeah, hats off to, again, this little town that has such a big heart, 6 square miles worth of enthusiasm. It was just really, really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it really was. I mean, we just enjoyed the night. And the venues were just unbelievable. The starting point, Merriman Road Baptist Church did a superb job of getting everybody out the door.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, Elvis was in the house, and Terry Krausen, the MC, did great, and Pastor Parker and his wife.
Yep.
They can really sing, those two.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I was very impressed.
Yeah.
His wife Cindy and him. Unbelievable.
I've seen them do I've Got You, Babe at the Kiwanis meeting, and they're just fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, I thought I was listening to Sonny and Cher, for God's sake.
Yeah.
It was really good.
Yeah, so each place offered something a little more unique than perhaps the other.
Yep.
And all good, and I have to acknowledge, of course, that because I was asked more than once, do they make any money? And I said, no, they participate at their own cost.
Yes, that's true.
The restaurants do not get paid for this.
Right.
In fact, it's the opposite.
And yep.
The hope is that people will visit their establishment.
Exactly.
And tell a friend and invest in a dinner or a lunch. And, we're going to actually, we invited Sneezy and his wife to breakfast at a location. And so it's really nice to showcase certain things in town.
And that's really what it was all about.
A large group of, rotating people. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and we had ballots, and people voted for their favorite, which was very, very difficult. And I do want to acknowledge that first place went to Garden City Cafe, and Tony was the winner. And we presented him with a plaque yesterday. Or was it yesterday? Wednesday? Tuesday, I guess. I don't know. No, Wednesday, yeah. And he was very thrilled, but everybody was a winner as far as I'm concerned. And I also want to mention that 41% of the people that went on that were from outside our community. We had people from West Branch, Ionia, Livonia, Canton, Dearborn Heights. Yes. On the back of each ballot, there was room for comments and that, and people would say where they were from. They all said that they'd be back. They would bring a friend. Nothing negative. I mean, it was just, it just went so well. I just can't believe it. Overwhelmed.
Well, Cheryl and I, while we
PR.
were at the church, at the kickoff, so to speak, we were approached by some folks that we've known since our kids went to high school together. And they live in Westland, and they said, well, we know why you're here, but let us tell you why we're here. And I said, well, why are you here? And the Latas, and they said, because our friends said this is going to really be a good time. So we said, yeah, let's do this.
Great. Yeah, I mean, we promoted the heck out of it. There was a lot of publicity for it. We also had a comment, too, and Cheryl had read it to me last night, that somebody had lived in Garden City for 10 years and had not visited 5 of the venues that were on the Taste Fest.
Wow.
Which is hard to believe, a small town like ours, but they were just overwhelmed. They'd all be back, and they'd bring a friend. So, that's what it's all about.
I'll tell you that one of the people that was and is related to my wife, Cheryl, has lived in Garden City her entire life, had never been to more than one of the restaurants.
Oh, really? Wow.
And I said, you need to get out more.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we had Cheryl's sister with us, too. Debbie was with us, and she doesn't get out much.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay. And, she just was astonished at how she said, you guys put this all together? And I go, yeah, I mean, there was a lot of people involved in this. She was just amazed how well it went. And, I just can't say enough for the venues, how great a job they did. The service was just fabulous. El Satan was great. All of them. They were all great.
Right.
So, yeah, I'm glad everybody enjoyed themselves. Now we're going to probably give the venues a little bit of time, and then we want to give them a survey and see what they thought, and get their thoughts too.
Right.
But the true success of this will be determined if people come back, new faces come back, and
that's just it. It's not to try to fill yourself up with $20 worth of food.
Right. Exactly.
It's to sample different locations and then figure out, I want to come to this place and try what they have.
Yep.
I filled myself up with $20 worth of food about the 5th stop.
I'm telling you.
Watching. I would say by the 2nd stop, you and I both had our $20 worth.
Yes. I mean, I was full. There's no doubt. I didn't even I don't think I ate hardly anything the next day, to be honest with you.
Well, and there were a couple of the stops where many of us did not eat anything.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah,
I just said, leave me alone. Don't bother me. Felt like a beached
whale. There were definitely some standouts, and I'll not mention but one. And the one that I'm going to mention was actually at Albert's, that bacon.
Oh, yeah. The candied bacon, yep. A lot of people have talked about that. I've heard a lot about that.
Good.
Yep.
It was very, very good, very different, and very unexpected.
Yep. And I'm going to mention...
So my hope is that Steve gets some additional business because of that.
Yeah. And I'm going to mention at Golden Feather, Kent's Cupcakes and Creation set up there. And those were delicious. I got a lot of compliments on that, and she was very pleased. I guess a lot of those went, too, for dessert. So,
I didn't get any.
Then somebody got ice cream at one of the venues, and it wasn't even part of the program. I don't know.
Yeah, ice cream.
Oh, it was part of the program.
Yeah, they.
I didn't see it. I didn't see the ice cream in the buffet line.
It's who you know, right? But I'm sure if they had ice cream and you had asked for it, they would have took care of you. I'm sure. the owners were just unbelievable. The service was great. I liked all their T-shirts they were wearing, and I passed out badges that Amy Neary had made for us with our logo on it, and everybody was wearing those. Good time,
Yep.
good time. So, yeah, we're looking forward to next year. Already people are saying they're going to get their ticket early, that's for sure, because they went quick. So I'm thinking get your tickets by the 1st of April if you're going to, because they're going to go quick.
Yeah. Well, next year, what we're going to do is make sure to ask a handful of friends, and I'm going to tell them.
Yep.
Say yes or no right now, and I'm getting the tickets now, and that's it. Because as you well know, y'all had you had a deadline and sold out a week and a half before that, and it made it challenging.
Yep. I mean,
which is a good thing.
Yeah. Well, we actually turned away probably 35, 40 people, and the day people were picking their T-shirts up early at DDA, there was two or four people that came in and wanted tickets, and we just couldn't do it. So.
Right, and that's a good thing because you don't want to overfill the system either.
No.
So that's a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, it was perfect, 25 to 28 people at a time, about every half hour running through there. And, yeah, the owners and the help didn't seem to mind at all. So they did real well. Any comments, Mike?
No, it was a superb event. Great publicity for the venues and Garden City as a whole.
Yeah, now we got to come up and work on our next event. I don't know. We've been talking about some kind of a business expo, get everybody involved in town, or, we're even thinking about music under the stars or something like that, and have some food. And I don't know. We'll see what comes up.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we will let people know, that's for sure. All right, Richard, anything else? I don't want to keep you. I know you.
One last thing. One last thing, if I can.
Yep.
I received a message from a former colleague, the current supervisor of Plymouth Township, Shannon Price. He sent me a message last night, and he said, hey, just wanted to let you know that Rod White had passed away. And there's a number of people, of course, in Garden City who would recognize that name. Mm. And so today at the Wayne County Commission, I offered a memoriam, a resolution, and Diane Webb, of course, one of my colleagues, wanted to mention that she knew Mr. White and his advocacy over 90 years worth of a lifetime certainly benefited Garden City and elsewhere. And I just wanted to mention that the system works when folks are able to notify others that they might hear something that might get beyond some of us, and it's all part of what makes the tight-knit fabric of the town. And
exactly.
So, really appreciate everything that Mr. White did to touch the lives of, heck, I don't even know how many people. It's tough to put a number on it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, we appreciate that, and we appreciate you for calling in. And get to the doctor, will you, please?
Yeah. After this weekend, if I'm not better, I'm gonna post a Facebook status update of which clinic I'm in.
Okay. All right. I might even come visit you at that clinic.
All right. Well, if so, we'll have a beer together.
All right. Sounds good. How's the weather up there, by the way?
Cold.
Cold?
It is cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No sun or cloudy?
It is a little sunny, but it's pretty darn cool, and there's white caps. And
wow. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just not. Well, of course, Memorial Day's a week earlier than it usually is, and
yeah, true.
So I don't know. This is Michigan weather, I tell you.
Yeah, I know. Well, look, get yourself a hot toddy and cuddle up and and enjoy yourself. All right, have a great holiday weekend.
Sounds good. You guys take care too.
Yep.
What clinics are there that serve the beer?
I'll let you know. It'll be part of my Facebook.
Thank you.
Because that's the only one I'm going to.
Okay. All right. Take care, Commissioner. Talk to you.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Bye. Okay. Let's move on here. I guess we can start getting into our announcements here. The council wanted me to remind all residents that the next regular council meeting will be on June the 1st at 7 p.m. in the council chamber located at 6000 Middle Belt Road. They urge all residents to attend. Been kind of interesting lately with being an election year. We have our nutcases come out.
Well, and this particular meeting could be a big one because they could be acting on budget stuff.
Yeah.
So it's
the budgets. I guess they're pretty close to passing it.
yeah.
So
They can have it done by the end of June, but I think there's a lot of action that may take place at this first meeting. So.
Yeah, so you might want to attend and see the action live and in person. And if you have something to say, by all means, get up there and say it. All right. Also, if you haven't been to the Brenda's Butterfly Habitat, you don't know what you're missing. Brenda is a good friend of the show. She's located at Barson's Greenhouse at 6414 Merriman Road. For the 2015 season, she's going to open June 4th, and that's going to go through September 5th. And she'll be open Thursday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. She'll be closed when it's raining, but it is a great place to hang out with the kids or grandkids.
Absolutely.
Or just by yourself, right, Mike?
Yes, it's
Bring a book.
very interesting.
Yep, very interesting. Brenda will tell you everything you need to know about butterflies. This woman knows it all. She also wrote a book. She's got a book she sells there if you're interested. It's totally free, too, but donations are accepted. So if you like it, please donate. Check it out. You won't be sorry. And if you're interested in becoming a member of the Garden City Business Alliance, they want me to let you know to visit their website at gcbiz, that's B-I-Z, 48135.org. There's a lot of pictures on there from the Taste Fest. So,
yeah, my daughter said there was something posted about 10 minutes into the Taste Fest.
Yes, Facebook blew up. I'm telling you, a lot of pictures are on Facebook.
Right.
So once again, the website, gcbiz, 48135.org, or you can go to their Facebook page at facebook.com/Garden City Business Alliance, where you'll find much more information. Now, the GCBA meets on the second Friday of each month. Their next meeting is June the 12th at 6 p.m., and Gordon Chevrolet will be hosting that meeting. So we're looking forward to that and seeing Sherry Barber over there at Gordon Chevrolet. So bring some business cards because networking is what it's all about. The GCBA is talking about some great events planned in the future for the community. So why not join and be a part of it? Okay, with some more announcements, here's Mike.
Yeah, I got a few, Kerry. The Mother's Day tea was such a success that Maplewood's going to have a Father's Day barbecue. Yay. Friday, June 19th from 12 to 3. Tickets are $8. It'll be held at the Maplewood Community Center, which is 31735 Maplewood Road. And for more information, you can call 734-793-1870. One that's true and dear to our mayor's heart, the Garden City's Memorial Day ceremony will be held on this Monday, May 25th.
Yeah, he does a great job.
On the City Hall lawn at 11 a.m. This year's speaker will be Major General Nelson J. Cannon, U.S. Army National Guard. Mm-hmm. This is the highest ranking officer they've ever had at one of these things. A Major General. That's a 2-star, I think.
Yeah, it is.
Some great news from the Garden City Public Library. They've been awarded the James C. Dance Grant, which will provide funds for an updated performing arts collection of books and DVDs, as well as to collaborate a performance program with Maplewood Center's own Dance Express. Details of this performance will be released when they are available.
And let me just mention, Mike, I got some bittersweet news today. I don't know if you heard that Lindsay Fricky is leaving over there at the library. She's taken a position, I think, at the Novi Library, if I'm not mistaken.
She did so great.
Did a great job, and
it's kind of like the coach of the Red Wings. You do such a great job, everybody else wants you.
That's it.
Yeah.
So we wish her the best of luck over there.
Yeah, I didn't hear that until just now. And then we got a announcement from our neighbors in Dearborn Heights. Primarily, there's on Saturday at 11 a.m. at the Daly Park, Lehigh and Westlake. There's going to be a kickoff for the Light Up the Night 2015 campaign, a program uniting the community in the fight against crime, which is an issue that we've talked about on this show. In terms, and also at your Business Alliance meeting.
Yep.
About awareness of crime and so forth, and trying to do a better job of protecting yourself and your neighbors.
Mm-hmm.
Please join us for guest speakers. They'll include our very own Senator David Knisik,
Yay.
Michigan State Trooper Mark Keller, Dearborn Heights Police Chief Lee Gavin, and Dearborn Heights Crime Prevention Corporal Mark Paranello.
Mm-hmm.
All Dearborn Heights neighborhood associations, in the Southwest Dearborn Heights Neighborhood Association have been invited and have information tables. In addition, there will be a crime prevention information plan in a can, emergency communications, children's activities, and food. Wow.
Oh, yeah.
That brings
Gotta
people
have food.
out. Yeah. Please feel free to visit and like our Dearborn Heights Light of the Night Facebook page at Dearborn Heights Light Up the Night 2015.
Yeah, Lisa Hicks Clayton, who's a good friend of the show, is behind that. And
I had a hunch.
Sounds like a big deal.
She forwarded that to us.
Yep.
That had her fingerprints all over it.
You're right. You got it.
And we have a Sky Zone Trampoline Park Active and Retired Military Appreciation Day. That's on May 25th.
Mm-hmm.
They're honoring our active and retired military and their families with a free 1-hour jump. Active and retired Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine Corps, Coast Guard, National Guard, 1-hour jump at Sky Zone in Canton, Sky Zone in Taylor, Sky Zone in Shelby Township. This is Monday, May 25th from 12 to 5.
That's a nice deal for the families and the veterans. Nice to see that.
The one in Canton is on Executive Drive. The one in Taylor's on Eureka Road. Mm-hmm. And the one in Shelby Township is on Sabrina Drive. There's phone numbers and so forth that people can get a hold of them to get more information.
Mm-hmm.
The last upcoming one I've got, but I want to reflect back on a past one in a moment, is Kiwanis, Michigan District of Kiwanis Division 4 is having their prayer breakfast Saturday, June 6th, 9 a.m. at Amatea's Restaurant, 3277 Warren Road, Garden City. The guest speaker will be Richard Burrell from the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. There will be a buffet style, all-you-can-eat, $12 person meal. Advanced reservations are required. And this is hosted by the Kiwanis Club of Garden City. James Lentz, Ken Hines both from Garden City, and Al Schultz from Dearborn Heights are the planning committee on this one. So
that's nice.
Yeah, it's been good in the past, and it fell off the charts for a couple of years because the people in Dearborn Heights weren't able to continue it. But Al didn't want to see it die, and so when James and Ken said they'd like to get it going again, resurrect it.
Cool.
They formed a nice committee on that. Saw we got some nice publicity on the Kids Day in the Park in today's paper.
Yes, we need to talk about that. That was, that started out a little shaky, but it ended up quite well.
The weather held us down for the first hour or so, and we actually wound up canceling the rock climbing wall just because it was rainy when things kicked off at 11 o'clock.
Had the bouncers
and the bouncers weren't going to be able to go up if it was continued to rain, but it did stop raining. And we wound up with a pretty good day for most of the 11 to 4 time span. 12 to 4 was pretty good.
Yep.
We wound up with probably about $100 less than last year when we had perfect weather.
Oh, not really that bad, is it?
No, in terms of the wristbands and the donations and so forth. So we still had a very good turnout, and a lot of people had a great time, and a lot of hard work was done by the committee to put that together. So we're glad to see it continue. And I also see there's an article about restructuring the elementary schools in Garden City in the paper tonight.
Again?
And they're talking about perhaps closing Douglas.
Oh, boy.
Moving the 3rd and 4th to Farmington, combining them with the 5th and moving the 6th grade to the middle school.
6th grade to the middle school, huh?
Which will give them more opportunities for extra.
What about Memorial then? That'd still be open with the first and third.
The first and second.
or
first and second,
Yeah,
and
second.
Lathers, I guess, would still be kindergarten and pre-K. At least they weren't mentioned in this article, but there's a think tank committee that's made up of people from administration, building administrators, teachers, support staff, and community.
They might want to wait till we get a new supervisor too, possibly too.
Superintendent,
or superintendent. I mean, yeah.
But,
well, they're thinking about it.
yeah, there's been a lot of feedback on the pros and the cons of the restructuring that took place.
I know.
And so this may be a slight change in that. Hopefully,
the parents
community can get behind it and support it.
The parents have to voice their opinions too. You know.
Yeah, there's supposed to be 7 members of the community on this committee. So
okay, well, we'll see how that goes.
Input.
All right, awesome. That it?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to pick up where you left off then. Don't forget the Relay for Life of Garden City is May 30th and 31st at the Garden City Middle School. That's at 1851 Radcliffe Street. And they're going to have the survivor registration at 9:30 a.m., celebration and survivor lap at 10 a.m., followed by a complimentary breakfast and activities for all survivors and their caregivers. You can register in advance at relayforlife.org/GardenCityMI or give them a call at 248-663-3419. And that's the Garden City Relay for Life. That is a big deal, too. So if you've never been to one, I urge you to check it out. And let's hope the weather cooperates. Lisa Watts, who was actually on our bus last night at the Taste Fest, and she was our guest last week.
I think she got her eyes opened on that, that Taste Fest in the bus.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, when I walked in that gym and I saw all the people in that gym at Merriman Road Baptist Church, my eyes were open. Let me tell you, there was a lot of people in there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was great. But, yeah, she had a real good time. She said she really enjoyed herself. But they're having a lunch and learn. And speaking of, crime prevention and that, it's called Home and Personal Protection. It's going to be safety tips for seniors and are meant to help avoid a potential issue before it escalates and advise on what to do if an issue does arise. It is a critical message that all seniors need to hear. And our friend from the Garden City Police Department, Sergeant Brian Allray, is going to be the guest speaker. He is a good guy and a great speaker. Let me tell you, he's really good. He also runs our crime prevention and neighborhood watch program here. It's going to be held on Wednesday, June the 3rd from 12:15 to 1:15, and it'll be at the Maplewood Center, 31735 Maplewood, in the community room. So you'll want to write that down on your calendar, as well as all these other ones. The 21st annual Garden Walk is coming up.
Wow.
21 years. Wow. It's going to be Saturday, June 20th, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. I believe they got 7 homes this year, if I'm not mistaken. Tickets can be purchased in advance at Barson's Greenhouse, and that's in Westland, or at Lucky Dog Daycare in Garden City. Tickets are $8 or 2 for $15, so that's a good deal. If you're interested for more information, call 734-564-3868, or you can go to their website at gcgcweebly.com. gcweebly.com. All right. So that's a big deal too. That's one of their biggest events, the Garden Club. This is a kind of a nice one too, thanking the veterans for their service. To celebrate Memorial Day, Party Animal Travel would like to take the veterans and those who are now serving on a day trip away to the Greektown Casino and the Detroit River Day celebration. The date for this trip is Saturday, June 20th. It includes round-trip motor coach, $20 in slot play, and time to visit the best celebration on the river, the Detroit River Days Festival. If you are a veteran or are now serving, please call 734-525-9777. Proof of service will be required to obtain this free trip. If you'd like to take a family or friend with you, family member or friend with you, the cost would only be $29 per person. Also, if you are a police officer, this offer is open to you as well. Party Animal understands how hard you work, and we are asking you to join us too. Please spread the word and help us celebrate our troops. Thank you, Party Animal Travel. It's a great job over there, Jerry does. Jerry Thorne. The American Legion Post 396 is having a golf outing. It's the Doc Bob McAdams Memorial Golf Outing, August 15th at Warren Valley Golf Course. It's going to be a shotgun start at 9 a.m. It's $100 per golfer, 18 holes scramble golf, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, raffles, and much more. There is a $15,000 hole-in-one price. You get a hole-in-one, you're going to get 15,000 buckaroos.
Anything for a hole in 20?
Yeah, exactly.
That'd be more my speed.
Proceeds will benefit Stiggy's Dogs and the Home Food Pantry in Garden City. Please register by August 5th, and you can contact Paul at 734-776-8025 or our friend Dick King, 734-564-7080. That's a good cause. And let me see what else I got here. The Straight Farmhouse is going to be starting their outdoor flea market soon over on Merriman Road. They're located at 6221 Merriman Road. They start the second and third Saturday of the month, starting in June through September, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Setup begins at 8 a.m. It's only $15 for a 10 by 10 space. Monies from the space rental goes directly to the museum. Payable on the day of the flea market. There will be no ad. Restrictions are no weapons, no offensive pictures or literature, no food or beverage sales. The flea market will be held at the Straight Farmhouse. It's an outdoor flea market, and it will be canceled if you have inclement weather. And boy, I think that's about all I have. Always something going on in this little town, huh?
Yeah. Been a busy couple of months.
Yeah.
Next one coming up, too.
I know it. So that was a good show tonight.
Yeah.
Covered a lot. It was nice. Richard called in and gave us a county report, and we talked about the Taste Fest. That was a huge success. We're going to, like I said, we're going to have a meeting, a post-meeting afterwards, and read all the comments and see what we can do to improve it. Or
it'd be interesting to get the feedback from the venues too that you talked about.
Right, we're going to send them a survey and
modify things a little bit.
Yep. See how they feel.
Serve some of their needs.
Right, but already we're talking about next year, and we'll see what happens. This was a fabulous success, and I was just very, very happy. So. All right, Mike, any more comments that you'd like to talk about? Or
No.
Hey, let's talk about Red Wings. We lost Babcock.
Right.
8 years, $50 million to Toronto. Your thoughts?
Money talks.
Yeah.
Because he's talked about Holland had said money wasn't going to be an issue, but apparently it was, because they just went bizarro on the money offer that they gave him. It's hard, I think, for a coach to stay relevant with the same players in the same locker room for extended periods of time. So a fresh voice might be good, and they really, really, really like this guy that's been coaching Grand Rapids.
Grand Rapids, yeah.
He spent 1 year.
Young guy.
Babcock, yeah. He's like 41 years old.
And he knows all the players.
Yeah,
because he coached them down there, a lot of them.
A lot of the young players that are starting to have an impact with the Red Wings were people that played for him 3 years ago when they won their championship.
Right.
So it'll be interesting to see how that pans out. Babcock had said before this all started that he was interested in winning championships. Well, he didn't take this offer because he was figuring on winning a lot of championships.
No.
Detroit may be going out of the playoffs in the first or second round most years, but Toronto ain't even making the playoffs.
Right. And how many years in a row have we made it?
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
So
24 or something like that. And
yeah, it's a rebuilding situation that he's entering over there.
they got one of our former players as president.
Yep.
Brendan Shanahan. So,
Yep. Hey, you know, I wish him luck. I mean, he was due for a change, and what the heck, you know, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
And we're due for a change too, so maybe it's all going to work out, right?
Yeah.
And then let's talk about.
We're starting to get an inferiority complex though, with Sue leaving and Babcock leaving. And
I know.
Scherzer leaving. And
Yeah, Scherzer, I know it.
the paper speculated this is what's next.
I know.
Cepedas and Price, whose contracts are both up after the end of this year. But the Tigers, I don't know.
Well, you know, Price almost was gone too, but they came through and got that 1 year on him. I don't. What's the latest with Verlander? Is he coming back? When's he due back? You think? Do we know?
No, I don't know.
I don't
think he knows either. But the latest reports were good.
Okay.
That he'd had a good bullpen session, and he was scheduled to do another one where they were going to actually have him pitch so many pitches and then sit down and rest, just like you would during a game when your team was up, and then go out and pitch another round of it.
Now, is he going down to Toledo to rehab or at all? It don't sound like it, huh?
Not yet.
Okay.
But that's
probably just before he comes back.
They want to do that, and then they're talking about after that doing some live batting practice, which he hasn't really done.
Okay.
And then they would probably look at rehab.
Yeah.
The problem with Verlander is different than the problem with Rondon, because Rondon, they're just trying to get ready to be able to pitch 1 or 2 innings in relief. And he's getting apparently pretty close to that. Verlander's got to build up his stamina to be able to go more than
6, 7 innings.
Right. So you're talking about being able to throw 70, 80 pitches right out the chute.
Yep.
And eventually 100.
So you worked a good game today down there.
I did. It was a challenge.
Yeah.
I only sold 75 hot dogs, but that was 15 more than Wednesday night.
But the outcome of the game was good.
Yeah.
Finally.
Yeah, last night and
I mean, a 5-run lead. It was sad they blew, but
yeah, last night was a nice come from a tie win late in the game, and so was today. We had leads in both of those games.
Yep.
Tigers seem to have mastered the score first concept real well.
Yeah, they have.
It's the score late and score often things that they've got to work on.
Yeah, exactly.
I get tired of so many games where they only get 1 or 2 runs.
Yeah. Well, hey, our closer, blew a save there.
Had a chance to win it in 9.
And let up a home run.
Some rookie guy that's never had a major league home run hit a home run off of it.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? Well, McCann, this was only his second one. He had inside the park, I believe.
Correct.
Somewhere.
Yeah, St. Louis or someplace. He had inside the park home run.
Yep.
And then this is his first one over the fence.
Right.
So it's exciting that when they win, and it definitely helps the enthusiasm of the crowd, and certainly doesn't hurt the hot dog sales either when they're winning.
Mm-hmm.
So a little warmer weather, a little bigger crowd today, and another nice late inning win.
Yeah. Well, we'll take it.
Darn right, because Kansas City just never loses. We picked up a half a game on them today because they didn't play, but
yeah, interesting. Hey, we have Sneezy in the chat room, and he was on our bus too, and he said the Taste Fest was awesome. Yeah.
I've heard nothing but good reports from the people I've talked to.
Yeah. Okay, let's see what else we got. I think that's about it, really. I can't think of anything else. Be honest. Huh? Time to call this a podcast. All right. Well, you know what? I think it's time to call this a podcast. I want to thank my co-hosts, Richard, Mike, and Tom. Great job as always. And also thanks to Holly and Joey all the way from Wisconsin for your gardening tips. And thank you to everyone who hung out with us in the chat room. We really appreciate your support every week. Remember, the audio from tonight's show will be on our Facebook page at facebook.com/GCChat shortly after we sign off. And don't forget to look for the video sometime tomorrow on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/communitychatshow. And let me mention that if you would like to come on the show, we would love to have you. We still have some dates available. Maybe you own a business or belong to an organization. You'd like to come on and share your information with us and the community. Just send us an email at gccommunitychat@gmail.com, and we will shoot you some dates, and that's all there is to it. Okay, remember, the success of a community depends on the community, so please support your local businesses. And if you see something, say something. Look out for one another out there. And for all your weather information, head on over to DopplerTomsWeather.com. He's got a great website over there. You'll get all your information there. He's got a radar, you name it, he's got it. Check it out. So join us next week right here on TalkShoe.com. I don't know if we have any guests lined up yet, but you never know. You never know who might stop by. Check us out right here next week on TalkShoe.com, show ID 82757, when we have another live broadcast for you. So on behalf of Richard, Mike, Tom, Holly, Joey, this is Kerry. Take care and see you next time.